Most people use computers to actually do work, but these guys use computers just to build prettier computers. Look at this. Look at this one. It's ridiculous. They do not just change the wallpaper. They will spend 5 days clicking deep inside settings menus just to make a volume slider look cool. I looked at my boring default screen and honestly, I felt insulted. I need this. So I went to one place on the internet where these people show off, our unixporn. This place is just an endless feed of people flexing their design skills. I started fast scrolling through the top posts looking for the perfect target, but picking just one is actually really hard. There are thousands of them. Some look like retro, some look like video games, some look like science fiction spaceships, and some look like they will instantly break my computer if I click the wrong button. I just kept swiping, trying to find a setup that looks amazing, and then finally I found it. This setup looked incredible. It features a minimal One Punch Man wallpaper with all the windows perfectly tiled side by side. It has a clean top bar, a macOS-style dock at the bottom, a pixel art Pokémon in the terminal, and really cool 3D pixel art login screen. I decided right then, I'm going to steal this exact look. So I started the customization process. The first thing I absolutely needed was the automatic window layout. Normal people just drag their windows around and resize them manually. But the guys on Reddit use something called tiling, which does it for you. I opened the KWin scripts menu in the settings and searched for a script called Cronkite. I clicked install, and the second I enabled it, magic happened. My windows instantly snapped into perfectly organized boxes. No dragging required. It already felt like a massive upgrade, but the windows themselves still had the ugly default borders. To fix that, I needed to change the window decorations. The Reddit post used something called classy. I had to go to their GitHub page and actually read the installation guide. I followed the steps hoping I didn't break anything and got it installed. While I was in the basic settings, I decided to fix the mouse and the folders. I went to the pointers tab and installed Vibata Modern Pointers. Then I went to the icons tab, downloaded the Colloid icon pack and enabled the Colloid dark version. Suddenly my folders stopped looking like a default operating system and started looking premium. Next I look at the text on my screen. It didn't look like the screenshots. I realized I needed to apply the exact font the guy on Reddit was using. It was called JetBrains Mononerd font. I went to my font settings, typed it in, and nothing. Of course, my computer didn't have it installed. This is the Linux experience. You cannot just click a button, you have to go get it. I opened up my web browser and searched for how to install this specific font on my system. I found out I had to use the terminal. I opened the terminal and used a command called yay to search the font package. I hit enter and let it download, and it installed it. Once the terminal did its thing, I went back to the settings, found JetBrains Mono, and finally applied it. The text instantly looked cleaner, like a hacker movie. Feeling confident, I decided to tackle the login screen. It is called the SDDM theme. I wanted that cool 3D orange pixel art look from the screenshots. I opened my system settings and typed SDDM into the search bar. 0 results. The menu just did not exist on my computer. I was very confused. After doing some more web searching, I discovered that if the menu is missing, you have to manually install a specific module called SDDM KCM just to make the settings menu appear. So I installed the module, I opened the settings again, and boom, the login screen menu was finally there. I felt like a tech genius. I went in, found a new SDDM theme, selected it, and changed the login wallpaper. I hit apply, and absolutely nothing happened. The wallpaper didn't change, the theme didn't change. I tried it again, still nothing. I spent a few minutes staring at the screen, trying to figure out what I did wrong, and then I did what any smart person would do. I completely gave up and moved on. I decided to focus on the actual desktop. I downloaded the One Punch Man wallpaper from the Reddit post, but I didn't apply that yet. First, I needed to completely destroy and rebuild my taskbars. I started with the bottom panel. I changed the width and the height to make it look more like a floating macOS dock instead of a standard Windows taskbar. Then I went to the top of the screen and added a brand new empty panel. By default, these panels are full of random widgets and that I'm never going to use. So I started ruthlessly right-clicking and deleting things. I cleared out all the junk. Then I added a spacer widget to the top bar and arranged my clock and the system icons so everything was perfectly balanced. It is tedious work, but you have to do it if you want that clean aesthetic. With the layout finally built, I went to my downloads folder and applied the One Punch Man wallpaper. Everything started coming together. I went back to the settings and applied those classy window decorations I installed earlier. But I didn't want to just guess the settings. I literally pulled up the original Reddit screenshot on my monitor and stared at it like a detective. I wanted to see exactly how they did it. I went into the settings and changed the window tile bar opacity to make it a little transparent. I tweaked the look. And then I changed the main Plasma style to match the dark theme, but my new top bar still looked a little boring. To fix this, I clicked Get New Widgets and installed something called Panel Colorizer. I added its shortcut directly to the top bar and opened the configuration menu. This was a mistake. There were a ridiculous amount of options, sliders, color codes, opacities. It was overwhelming. I sat there clicking through a bunch of different colors and styles, completely guessing. Eventually, I found one that looked decent enough. I applied it and backed away slowly before I broke anything. I was almost at the finish line. I opened up the Cronkite tiling settings one last time to configure the gaps. Right now all my windows were touching each other. I added some space between them so the wallpaper could peek through. I tested it by opening a few random apps and they snapped into place with perfect breathing room. It looked incredibly clean. Now there was only one thing left. The most important part of any Linux setup. I needed a pixel art Pokémon to show up inside my terminal. I searched for how to add a Pokémon to a Linux terminal. The results were terrible and didn't help at all. So I changed my search. I specifically looked up how to add to fast fetch. Finally, I found a random GitHub page with the actual instructions. I downloaded the necessary files, then I had to open my fish configuration file. I highlighted the default cachyos text that was in there, deleted it entirely and pasted the new custom code. I saved the file and opened a fresh terminal, and there it was, a perfect, useless, beautiful Pokémon displaying my system specs. And with that, the build was finally done. It was time for the last look at the desktop. Is the mathematically perfect one-to-one exact clone of the Reddit post I saw? No, definitely not. My panels are a little different, the widgets aren't exactly the same, and the login screen completely defeated me. But honestly, look at this. Overall, it's looking incredibly similar, and it's a massive upgrade from the boring default screen we started with today. It took a lot of clicking, a lot of searching, and a little bit of terminal fear, but the result is beautiful.